Hey Hastings, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you are a local resident looking to make the absolute most of your weekend, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into the latest published by HastingsNow.com to bring you your essential weather and on-this-date guide for Saturday, July 11, 2026. We are looking at a truly classic midsummer Saturday here in town. I mean, it's the kind of day that feels custom-built for enjoying our beautiful local scenery. But, being prepared always makes a good weekend a great one. So we'll be breaking down your local weather, giving you some practical tips, and then opening up a really fascinating little time capsule to see what this exact date looked like in years past. All right, let's dive right in and see what Mother Nature has in store for us.
88 degrees. Yep, you heard that right. If you've been waiting patiently for a truly warm, summery day, this is it. We're looking at a classic Minnesota July heat wave today. With temps climbing right up into the upper 80s, shade is absolutely going to be your best friend this afternoon. Whether you're planning on finding a cool spot under the trees down at Levy Park or just catching a nice breeze off the river, you will definitely want to factor this heat into your plans. Honestly, it's the perfect excuse to take things just a little bit slower today.
So let's look at exactly how our day will unfold, straight from the National Weather Service. We'll hit that high near 88, but tonight it's going to cool down to a very comfortable 67 degrees. You can absolutely leave the umbrella at home today because there is zero rain in the official forecast. It's going to be completely dry. Winds are starting out pretty calm this morning before developing into a really gentle south breeze at around 5 miles per hour later on. Now, we do expect some patchy fog to linger before 7 a.m., especially if you are down in low-lying spots or near the water, but don't let that fool you for a second. That fog will burn off fast, giving way to full, brilliant sunshine. And honestly, the best news, as of the latest Twin Cities forecast discussion, there are zero active weather alerts, watches, or warnings for our area. Just smooth sailing all day long.
Okay, so how do we actually build an itinerary around that 88-degree high? First up, light summer clothing and sunscreen are absolute must-haves today. With that intense sunshine, you really need to protect your skin out there. Second, if you've got long walks planned, or if you need to tackle some yard work, earlier is for sure better. Get out there and take advantage of the air while it's still crisp from that 67-degree morning low. Third, hydration is key here. Keep a water bottle handy, especially during the warmest part of the afternoon when that heat really peaks. And finally, you can just go ahead and ditch the extra layers. You are not going to need a light jacket tonight. To perfectly capture the local vibe today, HastingsNow.com actually shared this awesome weather joke of the day. It goes, Saturday goes from a little early fog to full sunshine. By lunch, downtown's red patio umbrellas may be the hardest working things in Hastings. And it's funny because it's so true. We all know how incredibly busy downtown gets on a gorgeous summer weekend. And with that sun just beating down, those iconic red umbrellas are going to be the most popular real estate in town. It's a really great reminder to get out and support our local spots today. Just, make sure you claim your patch of shade early.
Now, while we're all out enjoying this perfectly dry, sunny, 88-degree weather today, it's actually a pretty powerful reminder of how incredibly dynamic Minnesota weather can be. Because on this exact date, July 11th, back in 2016, literally exactly 10 years ago, the reality was drastically different. Central Minnesota and western Wisconsin got hit with a massive mega rain event. This huge storm spanned across the 11th and 12th, bringing widespread extreme rainfall that caused severe flooding and some really significant damage to roads and infrastructure in our region. It's a striking contrast, isn't it? From a perfect dry summer Saturday today to extreme flooding just a decade prior. Just a strong regional reminder of how rapidly our summer weather can flip on us.
And that dramatic weather shift actually cracks open our Hastings Now time capsule for July 11th. We just talked about the 2016 mega rain, but let's take a look at our timeline here and jump back to 1979 and then all the way to 1960 to see what else was making history on this exact day.
All right, let's start by rewinding the clock to July 11th, 1960. On this date, Harper Lee's absolute masterpiece, To Kill a Mockingbird, was officially published. It's kind of wild to think about the sheer cultural impact of this single release. I mean, this novel quickly transformed into one of the most widely read works of American literature in history, and of course went on to win the Pulitzer Prize. But what is truly remarkable is its staying power. More than 6 decades later, it isn't just a dusty piece of history. It remains a very familiar, active title in our local classrooms, our libraries, and probably right there on your own family bookshelves.
Now let's fast forward a bit to 1979 for a milestone that was, quite literally, out of this world. On July 11, 1979, America's very first space station, Skylab, made its fiery return to Earth. What's super fascinating about this is that Skylab re-entered and burned up in the atmosphere more than 5 whole years after its final astronaut crew had packed up and headed home. Skylab's legacy is absolutely monumental, though. It was the crucial proving ground that demonstrated humans could actually successfully live and conduct vital scientific work in orbit for extended periods of time. So every time we look up at the modern International Space Station on a clear Hastings night, we have the July 11th legacy of Skylab to thank for paving the way.
And just like that, it brings us right back to the present moment. Today, July 11th, 2026. The morning fog is clearing out, the sun is shining, and those downtown patios are definitely calling your name. So how are you going to spend your gorgeous Hastings Saturday? Whether you're cracking open a classic book in the shade, tending to the garden nice and early, or just watching the river roll by, make sure you take a moment to appreciate the beautiful weather we've been handed today. Just one final quick piece of advice before you head out the door. As our 2016 time capsule reminded us, summer weather can always surprise us, so take just a second to check official alerts and the radar on your phone before you embark on your weekend adventures. Stay cool, stay safe, and ask yourself, what memory are you going to make on this July 11th that you'll be looking back on 10 years from now? Have a fantastic weekend, everyone.